Hello, good day, salam sejahtera, assalamualaikum. So this is Makan with Sandy again. I'm traveling this time from Singapore to KL. So I'm just going to share some of my tips and share my experience and what are the processes for you to do if you are ever entering Malaysia in the near future. So I hope with this video I can give an insight of what to expect during the travel into KL via KLIA. So for me, I'm traveling from Singapore. So once I arrive at Changi Airport, you have to submit all those documents such as my travel pass, travel notice, as well as the LOU to the check-in counter. They will do all these verifications. You wouldn't be allowed to check in if you do not have all that. Right? So once everything has been verified as per normal, they will check you in, take your luggage in, and then you just go inside. Again, walk to the gate. Obviously, Changi Airport is definitely empty. Not really completely empty, probably running at like maybe 5%. So again, once we boarded the plane. I think I got the A350, so it's a 3 and 3 sitting. So there's one person on each row. Alright, so there's 3 of us per row. Sorry. The flight. There's only one flight per day from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, and it's at 8:30. So I would suggest that you arrive at the airport this time 2 hours before minimum, so that it will give enough time for you to be checked in proper and to do verification of all the documents which you have to present. So 2 hours before. Alright, also because there's a lot of people sometimes in front of you, plenty of them, and everyone have to go through the same process, so it takes a longer time, probably 10 to 15 minutes per person. Alright, so yeah. Once we have boarded the plane, I was fast asleep because I'm quite tired. So I woke up halfway through the flight, and I did not realize. I don't think they serve any food and drinks. But it's only a 1 hour flight, so there was no beverage served in the Singapore Airlines. No worries. Love Singapore Airlines, by the way. Still the great way to fly even during this pandemic. But they really take care of you. So once you arrive at KLIA, it's the same process. Just disembark the plane and you walk towards the immigration. So just before you enter the immigration, this is the first station, right? So for those who are entering Malaysia, please download the My Sejahtera app. Alright, so this My Sejahtera app is an application probably you have similar to the ones that we have in Singapore and probably some other countries as well. So download it before you arrive into KLIA, right? But do not fill it up. I'll tell you why. Do not fill up, just download the app and get ready to fill up. So once you arrive near to the immigration counter, there will be someone there stationed and ask you to open up the My Sejahtera app, and there's a QR code for you to check in. So once you check in, there are 2 different QR codes that you have to scan. So depending which type of arrival are you from, so it could be the PCA or the standard employment pass, or you just come here purely for work, or returning Malaysians. So they will tell you which QR code to scan, so you have to tell them which class do you belong to. So make sure you scan the correct QR code. Once you have done that, they will bring you to another a platform online which you have to fill up. If I could recall, it was your full name, your passport number, your address of residence. Okay, address of residence. Do not indicate the hotel which you are staying in KL for the quarantine, because I don't think they would assign you will not know which hotel you'll be at yet. The assignment of the hotel will not be made known to you only at the maybe 4th station or so. So you just put the residence. If you have a house here in anywhere in Malaysia, it doesn't have to be Kuala Lumpur. If you have a house here, just put the address of the house you have here. If not, you just put in the address of your office. Alright, so there's a few other questionnaire you have to fill up, the health checklist you have to fill up and tick as well. Once you have done that, It will show you have registered, and then you just walk through, you show the My Sejahtera app towards the second officer, and then they will bring you to the second station, would be the swab test. So they'll ask for your passport, and then they will fill up for you all these forms, and once you have done that, they will direct you to the third station, and you just wait in the waiting area, and they will call you by your name. So once they call you by your name, you go inside, you proceed onto the swabbing station. There's a few tables being set up. Alright, before we go any further, I just want to say that I felt very safe in KLIA, not to worry. I felt like I'm entering a hospital, right? Everyone's all geared up with the full PPEs, so face masks and face shield and all these standards, hospital gowns and everything. So it's very, very safe. Don't worry, but on your part, you still have to play your own checks and balances. Make sure you practice social distancing. So yeah, so it's quite safe. So once I sit down, there's two tests that they will take. One test they will swab in your mouth. All right, that's pretty easy. And the second one would be the nose swab test. So this is the a tip I would just want to tell you. So they will ask you to just look up a bit, and the tip is when just before they insert this long cotton bud to your nose, open your mouth slightly and start breathing through your mouth, because once they start to insert the cotton bud through your nose, it's not painful, but it's extremely uncomfortable. It's a sensation which most of us have never felt on a daily basis or frequent basis. So it's a bit weird. So what I did was I kept my mouth closed and kept breathing through the nose, and I coughed out because it's it's just a natural body reaction. So the nurse told me to slightly open my mouth and keep breathing through my mouth. So that helps a lot when you start breathing through the mouth, and just go in, I think maybe for about 3 seconds, and then they just pull it out, and then that's it. So two tests here, the mouth and into the nose. So once you've done that, for me I sneeze a few times, that's normal. Once you're done, they will direct you to the I think the fourth station, which is the payment station. So this is where you make the payment. So you have to tell them which class do you belong to. Do you are you a local, are you a foreigner, or are you under PCA class, or you're just here at the employment pass? So you have to tell them so that they know which class to charge you on, right? So payment can be made via cash, credit card, as well as bank transfer. All right. So only when you arrive at this fourth station, then they will let you know which hotel you have been assigned to. For me, it will be at Istana Hotel in Kuala Lumpur, just by Jalan Sultan Ismail and Jalan Raja Chulan. So it's a nice hotel. So payment very fast. I had some issues with my credit card, so it takes me about another half an hour longer for me to process the payment, but unless everything is good. So once payment is made, you got your receipt. Only then they will direct you to immigration office. Yes, so there's an immigration office which you have to go to, which they will stamp your passport. This is where they take all your documents for filing your travel pass, your travel notice, as well as your filled up LOU, and they will take everything and will stamp your passport and everything. So once you've done that, this is the fifth station, and then you have done that, they will direct you to go to the typical immigration counter, where you submit your passport, and they will just look at your face or stamp again, and then you go to the sixth station, which is I think for the transport logistics. So this is where you have to take out your phone again and scan the QR code on your My Sejahtera app, and there's a few forms for you to fill in. Once you've done that, they will give you a goodie bag, a bottle of water, some muffins and biscuits, and then they will direct you to a waiting zone. Again, this waiting zone is for you to wait for your transportation to the hotel. So depends how fast you were during the process, from station 1 up to station 6. So for me, because of my credit card, I was one of the last one to leave the station, together with some of those people arriving from Singapore. And what could I say is that so everyone goes by bus to the Istana Hotel, and there's 5 of us left. So all 5 of us, we had to wait for another about 20 minutes before the passenger van arrived, and all of 5 of us together with our luggages were then escorted into the to the van. So but before we entered the van, you have to place your bags. Everyone have to place the bags in one row, and this is where the I don't know, the authorities will get someone to basically just spray some I don't know, sanitize your bag. So they will sanitize everything, and then once you're done, then they will place your bag into the van, and then off you go. The journey from KLIA to KL Istana Hotel, I mean basically anywhere in KL will take about an hour. So during the journey, there I think we face about 2 roadblocks. Those near this toll station, they will have roadblocks. After when we arrive at the Istana Hotel, back. So once you alight from the vehicle, right, it's one by one. So once you alight from the vehicle, they ask you to stand one at a time, and you just have to put your hands up, and they will spray those, I don't know, so clean everything that you have from head to toe. Only then you're allowed to enter the hotel lobby. All right, and this is where you have to take out your phone again, open WhatsApp, and they will guide you to scan the QR code for you to be. They will put you in a special chat group. Those who have checked in for that day. All right. So everyone, if there's 200 of you, there's 200 of you in that chat group. So all the information will then be shared in the chat group, or you can even ask the operator from the hotel in the chat group. So basically, that chat group is not towards the health ministry. Is being initiated by the Istana Hotel, which is good. Alright, so check-in of the hotel is not a typical like you check in normal times. Everyone at the hotel staff will be again geared full up in full proper PPEs, like you're checking into the hospital again. So the check-in process took about 20 minutes. Alright, so that is when at the end of the check-in process, they will give you this pink wristband for you to put on, and you're not supposed to take it out until the end of quarantine. Alright, so there's 2 doctors during the check-in. They will brief you what to do, what not to do during your quarantine, and give you a form for you to fill up. And once you've done that, you have to take a photo of the form and then send it via WhatsApp to the doctor's phone. Only then you take your luggage and go up. Then you proceed up to your room. And I'm just gonna share. It's not really something that fancy, but you can see this is the view from my room. You can see the KLCC. Cool, right? Okay, so once I entered the room, it's a very spacious room here in Istana Hotel. It's a bit dated, but it fits the purpose of being quarantined. The spacious room and the toilet really helps a lot, right, when you house here for 14 days in straight. So I got myself prepared. So I brought along a lot of coffees, snacks, instant noodles, mashed potatoes, biscuits for my quarantine, because apparently they do not allow food to be delivered to the hotel. Not all Grab foods or food delivery service are allowed. Some of the allowed vendors I could recall would be like Subway, KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut. So most of them are going to be fast food. So even though if you manage to order that, I think there's a specific timing between 3 to 5 o'clock. So they will consolidate everything, and I would suggest, unless you're really desperate, only you do that, because by the time food arrives to your room, it's probably going to get cold. Alright? So again, but if you have friends or relatives here in KL to send you stuff, they can't send you fruits or any let's say nasi lemak. You're not allowed to. So everything has to be consumed by the food supplied by the hotel, but they can give you like packed foods, like dried packed foods like biscuits, maybe dates or whatever. It must be sealed and packed in its original condition. You're allowed so, but no cooked food. I'm not going to dispute that. This is the ruling of the Kementerian Kesihatan, the Ministry of Health in Malaysia. Please do not be hard on the hotel staff and start questioning them why we can't do this, why we can't do that. All right, don't become a cluster kayangan. They're just doing the job. They're just following the laws being put across by the Ministry of Health here in Malaysia. Food-wise, they will serve you 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and not to worry, for lunch and dinner they'll normally serve you fruits. Meals are not something you would anticipate like a proper service. It's just bento boxes, all right. But there are room service. There are room service. If you do not want those bento boxes, you can just go back to the chat group and say, anyone who needs my bento boxes, you can just take it. I mean, you're not allowed to leave the room, but you can call the operator that I've agreed with this guy and he needs more food, so he can take my portion of the meal and you can just pass him to him or her. Meals, I would say, don't expect something fancy. If you are not used to rice, so you have to make preparation, make sure you have some food or snacks which you brought in before you travel, all right? So be prepared for it. You should do your homework, what to bring and what not to bring. Internet connection here is good, excellent, no issues with me working, having Microsoft Teams video calls, good, especially viewing YouTube and calling home from WhatsApp video call, still good. No issues, good internet here at the Istana. So yeah, upon check-in, they will provide you ready, I think about a dozen, a box, a carton of mineral water, drinking water. So that will be given to you for the entire 14 days for you to budget. Everything be provided. There'll be 14 days supplies of soaps, shower caps, shampoos and conditioners, everything is supplied for 14 days straight. And there's also a packet of beverages which you could utilize for the next 14 days. An additional carton will cost you 35 ringgit per box. So far, being here is good, no issues. Except the TV channel in Istana. I think there's only like 10 channels. There's Vision 4, maybe there's 2 Vision 4 channels, Fox Sports, RTM1, and some other channels which you've seen it for 2 days and then you give up, and then you might as well be watching YouTube. Alright, so thank you for viewing. I hope I have shared enough information in my travel here. Please do like and subscribe to Makan with Sandy channel, and thank you for viewing. God bless all of you. Safe travels wherever you are in the world. God bless.